Hey guys, it's Pro Jared from Vsauce. Wait. All right, now then we're here. So, Anthony, you want to start this?
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be fun.
Let's do it.
Okay, or let's hope so. I'm a rusty DM. So,
I'm a rusty player.
how
Buckets.
how do I want to start this off?
You
I
start it
have my
off by a
note.
time and a place.
That's fair. I'm just trying to formulate which English words I want to communicate. Okay, so This is this is how our game begins. Welcome to Xenashiro Origins. Ahem. We start our game in a dark city. It's late at night. The stars are kind of covered by clouds moving above and a lot of light pollution because I learned that's a thing apparently. Um, it's very quiet because you're more so on the outskirts of the city. This location is at a harbor shipping yard type area. Aren't too many ships coming in. It's late at night. A fair amount of it is actually quite old, rustic, probably abandoned at this point, though some of it is still active, just a bit of it. And inside a large warehouse where there are piles and piles and piles of crates, you and the audience would see a group of, I'd say maybe 12 guys, just kind of all together, huddled in the middle of this warehouse. Dingy lights that don't produce much kind of dangle and swing above, blowing in the air from the ocean breeze. They flicker on them, sometimes go out for a sec, then come back on with a spark of life. And they're just kind of talking to one another, and the main guy, the guy who seems in charge, he's wearing a little bit more fancier armor. It looks like standard police riot gear, but with a little bit more flair to it. And on his left arm is a patch of what looks like a company he's working for. This patch has a snake, a serpent, coming out of what looks like a flower. And the other people, they don't really have much. It's just kind of like, they're just there. They maybe just some random crooks. But the main guy who seems to be leading this, he snaps his fingers and a few people don't dust away, but a few people come over grabbing a crate and they open it up. Inside, you see all sorts of weapons. You see AK-47s, M16s, a few grenades, a couple Molotovs. You cannot take them.
I don't want to take them. Honestly,
I don't think you need them.
Have.
In all honesty, I don't think you need them. But yeah, you get a bunch of weapons. Let's see. Oh dear God, session chat has gone mad. So
that's why I blocked it with my notes.
That's why I've got it on Do Not Disturb. So, let's see. Yeah, so they have a bunch of weapons. It seems like it's just a typical weapons deal. Nothing too crazy. I mean, looking back on this a few years, it would have been crazy, but in this modern society, this is pretty normal. This is fine.
Yeah, it's a casual crate of AK-47 of clips from. Just a casual Tuesday.
Now, Xenashiro, you went on a quest. This guy who seems to be leading this operation has a bounty on him. A decent bounty, nothing too bad. It's 100,000 if he's dead.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. You kind of lucked out on that one. Your boy Skid back at the bar, the guy who kind of runs the whole operations, he usually hooks you up with some pretty good stuff, and he has a personal liking towards you. Yeah, he's like a father figure. Uncle Ben, no!
I swear if you do that, I will break your game.
I did not think of it, and I like Skid. I like the potential voice I might give him if I remember to do it. What do my notes say? Okay. So, these men are just kind of talking. They're a little rough with each other, but they seem like they know one another. Like maybe they've done this before with this group. And the camera pans up, and we see you hiding up on the rafters, just standing, just crouching above, watching, waiting to strike. Now, before you do anything, let me alert you of your mission.
All right. Give me a briefing.
You've recently become a bounty hunter.
Okay, so this is new.
You It's relatively new. You're maybe 1 or 2 years new, but already you have proven your worth. You have taken out hundreds of people with bounties on their heads in rapid succession. Skid is quite impressed with how quickly you've done stuff, and your ego's been boosted a little bit. However, you've also been taking this up to find answers on the disappearance of your parents. The government has labeled them dead, but at the funeral there were no bodies to recover. Maybe there's a chance they're still alive. You're not sure. But Skid was talking with you a little bit about this particular mission, and he said that someone was talking to him, and they told him that they might have a little bit of information on what happened to your parents and where they could be, or who potentially killed them. So, your idea was kind of like, all right, take them out, get the bounty, but see what information I can gather. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. So you're hiding up here. They have not noticed you yet. You're pretty high up. It's a decent distance, but do you have Raptor yet?
Yes. I'm actually glad you stated when this was because I was thinking what techniques I have. So right now I'm
Yeah, do
thinking.
you want to let everyone know?
So right at start, I have my main weapon of choice that I use is a shadow weapon I create called Crimson Melody. At the time, it is just a one-handed axe with a medium blade and a triple-barreled shotgun at the top, and a chain that runs all the way down from the trigger of the triple-barreled shotgun down, and then just down so I can swing it around or I can discharge it from afar. It can be loaded with shadow capsules of my choosing, but if it's not loaded, it's just a kinetic blast.
It's fun.
And so one of the techniques I have is Raptor. I pretty much create shadow wings and I summon the Crimson Melody. In this form, I have the ability to fly, and I move at top speeds of 242 miles an hour. But there's a special thing I can do in Raptor. It's called counter shot. So instead of dodging, I get into like a counter stance, and if somebody comes to do like a melee hit on me, if I win the roll, I then point the triple barreled shotgun end of Crimson at the person's chest and knock them back 35 feet. But if they throw a projectile at me, and if they get knocked back, if the enemy hits something, they take environmental damage, which is just a 1d4. But
so you got many of your abilities. Now you don't have Plead Insanity yet, correct? Just making
no,
sure.
I do not.
Good.
But I also do have
hmm?
shadow chain binding, so it's like I
Yep.
just set out chains on the ground, and it's like enemy. They're set up as tripwires, and the enemy has to if the enemy is moving, they have to roll awareness against my intelligence, and if they lose, the chain activates and then it wraps them up, making them prone, and they have to roll to get out of the chains, and
It's fun.
and as of right now, or only me and people I consider allies are not affected by the shadows or the shadow chains. But
So
it's
you
still in
you
it's still
don't
in your
exactly
TPA.
have friendly fire. Not
No,
entirely.
not entirely. If I like you, then no. If I don't like you, then yes.
Then you're fudged. Now then. Okay. So you're hanging up in the rafters. Um, you know that you have Raptor at your disposal, and it would simply just take like a simple butterfly flutter down, and you wouldn't take fall damage or break your shins. You're not gonna die from this height, but it might sting if you land in an awkward position. So these guys are right under you. They're doing their deal. You see the transaction of money. You might be able to pickpocket them a little bit once you finish your job, get a little extra. Um, yeah, but you're right above them. Honestly, what do you want to do? You know that you might want to interrogate them for information on your parents, and the main guy has a bounty on his head. And all the guy said is just take something off his body as proof, and I'll give you the money.
Now, which one is the main guy? Is he the guy that's getting the guns or the guy that got the money?
He's the guy who seems to be orchestrating everything. He was handed the money. He's clearly the biggest. He has the fanciest looking armor. He's kind of pointing around, directing everyone. He's laughing. He's smiling. He's got a big, boofy beard. And this isn't racism, but he is Islamic.
Okay.
He does look Arabic in race.
So how's the light situation on them? Is it flickering? Is it flickering still?
Yeah, it's flickering.
All right.
Sometimes it goes out for a bit and then it comes back on.
All right. I want to wait until the light goes out.
Okay.
And then jump the guy with the crate of guns.
All right. So you wait a little bit, hanging up. Now, describe to everyone what your suit looks like.
So it's pretty much. I should have done this research earlier. That is not what I want. I do not.
I can describe it really quick if you can send me a picture again.
No, that's not it. I actually have a reference. I just want to look to make sure that it's correct. Okay.
Is this the 3D model?
No. It's not the 3D model. It's actually something that people know. Kind of like it. So I'm kind of wearing what Joker from Persona 5 has, just without the gloves and the mask. That's pretty much the best one. If you look up Joker Persona 5, it's the second.
Yep, take a look. Oh. Yeah. Look at how fancy you are. I hear Joker. We're doing a comic book thing. I'm like, oh, that's different. Persona 5. Oh, that's even more different.
Yeah, so it's kind of something like that.
Okay, sure. No, it looks nice. I remember what your mask looks like. It looks almost voodoo Aztec in a sense. When I look at it, it looks very voodoo Aztec-like.
I can see that. Honestly, I took the inspiration from DMC5, Sin Devil Trigger, Dante.
I mean, it looks cool. So, yeah, you kind of just look down, the lights go off, you smile, you found your opportunity, you attach the mask, and you leap down. Do you want to pounce on the main guy and stab him through, or do you want to interrogate him first?
Remember, I'm going after the guy with the guns first, just so that.
Yes, that would be him. But if you're going after one of just the random foot soldiers, that's kind of pushing it. There was a guy there.
I mean, my original plan was like go for the guy with the guns, then go with the guy then go to the guy with the money, and then interrogate Boss Man.
Yeah, okay. There's roughly 12 individuals here. Most of them look like they have very small firearms.
We'll take out the group by the guns. We'll take out the group by the guns first.
Sure.
So that way they can't grab them.
As you're landing down, you can make a multi-attack because they're pretty close to each other. You can actually try and stab two.
Let's spin the axe in a circle.
Okay, you want to spin the axe in a circle. Let's go, boys.
All right.
I'll roll separate coordination. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Tim, I love you. Tim, I love you for this dice.
My minions suck!
I got a nat 16 on the first roll and a nat 19 on the second one. And I have 6 per hours.
Alright. So with a natural 10 and you just... Since this is technically a larger group, I'm just going to say that you take them down and it's also surprise. So you just kind of flutter down.
Well, actually, how close are they? Because remember, don't forget, I have that chain that's on the axe.
Everyone's pretty clumped together.
All right. So I'd say roll awareness for like Boss Man to see if
sure.
To see if he hears the discharge of the shotgun.
Okay. Oh, he hears it. He looks behind him and he watches as two of his men just get whoosh, just cut in half, basically, with your weapon. And they just drop to the ground. And he's like, Xenashiro! Hey, the name's spreading. That's what you're thinking of. So, roll initiative.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so they're gonna go first. Now you're on the ground, but you just took down two of them. They're just gonna blindly open fire and hope they hit you. They're very scared because you just slaughtered two of their men with ease, and they didn't even notice you come in. It's, you know what? Roll to dodge. It's not gonna matter, but roll to dodge.
Let's see. Coordination is 17 total.
So with a 5, they fire wildly at you, just and they hit everything but you. Like the lights go out, so you have even more shadows to work with. Some crates get punctured. Everything is just kind of shredded for a second. The guy looks to his men. He's like, "Are you kidding me? He's a child! Shoot him!" It's not working. It's your turn. What do you want to do?
But first, I actually want to say, don't forget, Xenashiro is my hero name in the future.
Oh, so you haven't taken that up yet?
No, I haven't. But what is bestowed on me is the nickname Grim Reaper.
Okay, then that's what they'll call out instead. Just Grim Reaper!
All right, so...
Thank you for letting me know.
No problem.
What do you want to do?
That is a good question. What do I want to do?
They are relatively defenseless. I mean, they got street clothes on and pistols. That's about it. No one's taken from the supply yet because the crate is kind of locked. They showed them the goods and then they locked it, which is dumb on their part.
Oh, that's actually beautiful. Let's see. How close are the guys to each other?
They're like 5 feet away from one another.
I want to activate Raptor.
Okay.
And try and sweeply take the other henchman out.
You want to take the other what?
The other henchman out.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of flutter up. You burst out of your back 2 demon dragon-like wings. You kind of fly up for a second. And, roll a coordination check to see how many you can hit. Because you took out 2, so there are 10 people left. That is including the boss man.
Gotcha.
Oh dear, you guys are terrible!
Do I still have to roll?
Yes, you still have to roll because it's a decent enough number. You might blow it.
I did blow it.
Oh, what'd you get?
Nat 1.
Yes! With an 11!
Wow!
They just jump to the side as they see you fling your chain. Your chains? Is that what I am assuming you're throwing at them?
It's the axe. The axe is connected to the chain, so
yeah.
I throw the axe. So I throw the axe, and then I use the chain as like extra range, and I just try and swing it around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you kind of grab your axe, you fling it forward, holding onto it with the chain. They scream, and then they just leap to the side. Ah! Just hit the deck, cover their heads. The axe goes through a crate. Hey, they were selling cocaine in that one, and it gets stuck in the cement.
How does it stuck in the cement? It's shadows. You know what? I'm not gonna question it.
Look, if you can have shadow guns, it can get stuck in the cement. I'll take a turn to pull it out, but it shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah, no, I don't think it should be that difficult because I can just make it disappear and then reform back in my hand.
You know, that works.
Yeah.
So you kind of fling it forward, it gets sludged into the cement, and you're like, no, that sucks. It disappears. Now it's their turn. The one guy is all like, come on, fire at him! He's a clear target! I'm gonna roll two things. One is morality. Okay. How many of them are gonna run? Let's grab a D10.
I love it when I hear that. How many of them are gonna run?
Oh dear.
All of them.
Alright, so that's when I get the high roll. So everyone, they got a 7 on their morale check, and I rolled a D10 because there's 10 of them to see how many of them run. I got a 10. So
wow.
The 9 people just look at their odds. They look at the guns. It's like, you know what? You can keep the money. They run. They just run out of the warehouse. They're not important to you. It's this main guy who has everything you want, the bounty and the potential info. They just start running out. He's just screaming at them, cowards! Get back here! And then he looks slowly behind him and sees you just flying above like a dark god. So he's a little bit of a heftier man. He can't run that fast. He knows his odds. What do you want to do?
Roll for safekeeping. I would like to place shadow chain binding around him.
Okay.
It's just a tripwires. It's just a tripwires.
Roll willpower check.
9 total.
Okay. You kind of form them. They look a little weak, but you did form them. They just don't look too strong.
All right.
Okay. You kind of have chains set up on the ground.
All right.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
Now I want to try and force him so that way he activates I want to force move him so that way he can so that way the chains can activate so I can properly interrogate him.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll something for him. That's a 2. So he backs up a little bit as he sees you forming stuff.
Hold up. If you're doing that, I have to roll.
Yep. It's just he got a 2. He got a 2.
Well, I got a 3.
Okay, you beat him by 1. Perfect.
All right, and that was the roll to see, since he's moving, that was the roll to see if it was triggered, and they trigger.
Yeah, he's kind of backing up, so they trigger and they just kind of wrap around his body.
Yep.
Ah! Don't hurt me, Grim Reaper. I'm just making a living. Nothing personal.
Yeah, nothing personal, kid. But one quick question. Shoves triple-barreled shotgun into face. Where are my parents?
You're what?
Someone told me that you had information on what happened to them. Now,
Kid, I don't even know your name, man. All I know you is as Grim Reaper.
You want to text me the name of the parents?
Look, I don't know about much. I'm sorry.
I don't even know the name of my parents.
Okay, sure. Oh, I thought you were talking about him. I'm like, oh, that makes... that's weird.
No, I'm whispering to you.
Okay. Let me find you. Where are you, my DMs? Okay.
Well, did I mess up the recording at all? I had to leave.
There we go. That's your parents' name. That's fun. They have names.
Do you know of anybody named Jessica Howell or Harold Howell? Huh, interesting.
He's just kind of, a roll something for him. Okay. He kind of just looks around and he's just like, look, the names sound kind of familiar, but I don't know anything. What are you? Are you their son or something?
You bet your sweet ass I am.
Look, I only knew them from their careers. I didn't know about their disappearance, all right? I got nothing on them. Just let me go, please.
Do you know anybody that would know of their disappearance?
I don't know. They don't tell me stuff. I'm just a lackey. I got to control that unit today, and I felt so proud. I was going to go tell my mom. I was so excited. I was so happy. I was really stepping up, and then you had to ruin everything. Ew.
Well, you can tell your mother about this.
I can?
Yeah, when she's in hell with you.
Oh, God! You kill him?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
How do you take him out?
Let's see. There's a triple-barreled shotgun pointed at point blank to his head. High kinetic energy.
I don't know. Do you want to describe it? Do you just blow off his head, shoot him in the gut? What you do?
It's literally like if there was like his brain was dynamite.
Oh dear. All right. So, yeah, he goes kabush. His brain just kind of, and he just slumps to the side. You didn't get any information on your parents, except he knew them by their career. But you did take down the guy.
All right, sweet. I want to pickpocket him, see what I can take off his body. Same
Yeah, sure.
lackeys.
All right. Roll me a d20.
Okay.
For luck. I'd have you roll a d100, but I don't know if you have that.
Is it the thing that has like 20, 50, 10?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
Okay, then roll that.
90.
90, okay, and then roll a d10.
D10, that's the one with the highest number is 9, correct?
The highest one is a 0, which stands for 10 on it.
Yes. Got a 4.
Okay. You find 94 bucks on all the lackeys, and roll a d20. Okay. And you find these guys paid a lot for those weapons. You find roughly 180 bucks on them. $180 on them.
So 180 plus the 94, that's 2.
I'll let you do math. Yeah, that's just a happy byproduct. Yeah, roughly. So, you do need a piece of evidence from his body to show that he is dead. What do you want to take? You want to take his patch, a finger?
What was he wearing?
He was wearing just kind of some riot armor. It was a little nice, but he did have a few emblems and patches of the group that he worked for.
All right, let's rip the. Actually, let's just take the whole suit.
It was clearly made for the hefty man.
Yeah, and so that way I am not sluggishly carrying this around. I'm gonna put it in a shadow capsule.
Okay. Get in the capsule. Get in the capsule! Colin might get that reference. I changed it up a bit, but he might get the reference. Now then. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Colin. Thank you. I'm proud to call you my friend. So, Anthony.
Yes.
I hear frantic typing.
Oh, I have a little section on my notes for what I have in my inventory.
Okay.
So I'm just labeling what I have in my inventory. So I've used one out of my 5 shadow capsules. I still have my notebook in my pocket. I have $274 in my pocket, and then the shadow capsule with Boss Man riot armor.
Ooh. All right, cool. So, with this in mind, you look to your new catch, the little bonus stuff you got, and you just kind of look back to the guy, you sigh, like, yeah, he was useless. And you begin to make your way back to the bar. It's on the other side of town, but you kind of just relax. You spend the rest of the night walking through the shadows, kind of shadow stepping from here to there, skipping around. You had another successful mission. What a surprise. And you make it to the bar. It's relatively out in the open. It's nothing too hidden, nothing too crazy. It's a lower building, and there's kind of a dip in the sidewalk and a staircase down that leads to the main door. It seems like there once was an outside dining area here, but it's just rusted over and hasn't been in use for a very long time. You head inside. The little bell rings. Few people look to you. They notice you and they quickly turn away. Skid is over at the bar. He's like, my friend, how are you?
Doing great, Skid. Just finished another bounty.
Oh, you got the proof?
I'm gonna pull out the I'm just gonna drop the armor.
Oh dear. Yep. Okay. I'll call them up, let them know that you have that. He just kind of walks over and says, "Can I get you something?"
Just the usual.
What's your usual? You are underaged, but I mean, you're a really good dancer, so he doesn't really stop.
I'm gonna see if anybody gets this. Strawberry daiquiri, no ice.
No, wait, that sounds familiar. No, don't do this to me. No, I'm not gonna get it. Let's look at the session chat.
Strawberry sunrise. Strawberry sunrise, no ice.
No, I don't know if anyone's got it. You seem so angry.
I'm going to say this. It's in a death battle.
All right, well, we can move on. We'll address the question later.
I may have butchered the name, but I know it's strawberry something, no ice.
Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Now then, Anthony. You're hanging out at the bar. You've got your proof just kind of sitting next to you. You sit down. He throws you or slides you your drink from across the bar in typical bar fashion and cliches. And one person sitting next to you, an older gentleman, is all like, "Wow, that's a nice suit you got there. I wish I had something like that."
I know you got something way better than this.
You're right. And John Lee walks out. Only the most meta of comments and jokes. So, you're kind of sitting down at the bar. You're having your drink. It tastes just like strawberries. I wouldn't know because I don't underdrink. And I don't drink underage, so I can't tell. But I'm gonna assume it tastes like strawberries. Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of enjoying your drink. The guy comes over. He kind of shakes your hand, thanks you for the deal and all that stuff. He takes the armor as reward, and he hands you $100,000 for the bounty.
What?
Yeah, you're making a killing off of this. Your quirk has made this so easy. Or rather, not quirk, excuse me, peculiarity.
Just say quirk, it's a lot better.
When it's copyrighted material.
Copyright my ass. There's like 5 different games that use the word quirk.
Yeah. Either way, this is nice. You're kind of sitting at the bar now. You have your money. You feel great. You're getting drunk tonight.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure it's a non-alcoholic drink. I have no idea.
I mean, he's not going to argue if you want one. You kill people very efficiently. Skid does not have a peculiarity. He's just a regular-ass dude.
Let's just say, if my character gets drunk, half the people in the bar will get beaten up.
Hey, sir, could you please move? I'll kill you! Ah!
Shadow fist.
Yeah, you're kind of hanging out. A lot of the people begin to leave, come in, they leave, all that stuff. And quickly, it slowly starts to become early day. And Skid is kind of finishing up his rounds. And as he's cleaning out a glass, he looks to you and he's like, You know something? That reminded me. I don't remember what voice I gave him, something like that.
I thought it was something Irish or something.
Hey, you know what? We'll do. Do I risk an Irish accent? No, it's gonna change between Australian, Scottish, and Irish. So we'll do a strange Russian accent.
Please do if you have the Scottish one. You know, Scott,
If you had a chance to change your
Yes.
fate, would ya?
Yeah, so that guy, please.
All right. So he looks to you, he's all like,
I don't know.
so Anthony, I got something for you that will be a little interesting. So one of my boys, they called me up and they asked me if I knew anyone that would be crazy enough to take on a type of bounty he had to go in.
All right, how much we talking?
Well, I was going to save that to the end. You see, it's going to change. The accent's going to change. We're doing Russian or something.
I gotta see if it's worth my time.
Hello. Okay, I'm getting into the accent.
That's Russian.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
He might be drunk. That's our excuse. He changes accent. He looks to you, he's like,
he's got to keep his true identity a secret.
exactly. He looks to you and he's all like, well, I was going to save that towards the end, but you seem very hardwired on getting it. So he leans in a little close and says, 2.5 million.
Piques my interest. Who are we killing tonight?
Well, apparently. Damn it! All right. Well, apparently, there have been some warehouses that have been struck by a mysterious force. There is a woman that has been going around taking out entire operations, just ceasing them entirely. It has not been going good for them, and she's just been wiping them out. Companies are beginning to suffer because of this. It's actually causing some crippling effects. The woman is one of the icons, and everyone in the bar silences and just kind of looks over to you two. The Oriental one. Only.
Alright.
I have a few boys who can give you information on where she is and where she is most likely to strike next, but only has been causing many problems for their businesses and their trades. Type of weapons deals, drug trades, human trafficking, all that stuff. Things that fuel these companies. They need this. And Oni has been doing her job in sticking it to them. They need someone crazy and egotistical enough to take her down. And so, the only one that I thought would be good enough for that is you. So, what do you think?
I think after this next strawberry sunrise, I'll go meet the
man. Okay. He smiles and starts to prepare you one. He says, now I can have a plane for you that can take you straight to Japan whenever you are ready. I know a few people at the airport that can help me out with that. And once you land, he pulls out a card and hands it to you. Go to that address. There is a man there, a good friend of mine, who can tell you where Oni will most likely be. And then you can make your way. He hands you a drink. And he looks to you and just kind of goes, best of luck to you.
Don't forget who you're talking to.
No, I don't forget. So, you kind of finish up your drink, you look at the card, you see the address, and, well, Anthony, do you grab anything maybe at the place that you're currently staying on this mission? Because in your short career, this is potentially the most dangerous mission you've ever gone on. I mean, you're pretty confident in your skill, but like this, you hear the stories of Oni's style. She is quite a dastardly foe.
Actually, I think I'm just gonna. Is there an upstairs to this place?
And upstairs to this place, I'd say so, yeah.
All right, is it like just like a living quarters kind of place? Because I never really thought to ask, where do I live?
Well, you know
I
what?
was
That's your
thinking kind of
character.
like, I mean, I was thinking it's like upstairs in the bar area. Like I pretty much live there. Like
I
I
mean,
have a room
sure.
upstairs. All right, see, I'm gonna go to my room upstairs and put the money that I just got from this bounty in my safe box.
Okay, okay. You put it in your safe box. Where's your safe box hidden?
The most cliche place ever under my bed.
Well, you know,
But
at
it's
least you
very
own up to it.
but there it's the lock is specific only a shadow key. There's only a key I can make.
The lock is shaped like a piece of male genitalia. You must insert your penis. Unlock the magic box, Jimmy. I don't want to. Unlock it.
I'm gonna kill that guy and Jimmy
It's just crazy,
and then
crazy
break open the
magic.
box.
Once.
Damn it. It's just like a specific key.
Okay, I'm back. So, ahem. Now you put your money away. You kind of hide it under your bed. You go over to Skid, and after some talking, we're just gonna fast forward through this because there's not much to do. He takes you to the airport, or you make your way over. You kind of meet with some of the people. You introduce yourself. They take you on the private plane, and you begin to take off and make your way to Japan.
Also, John, I'm just gonna go with a rough estimate since I really don't know exactly how long I say that I've been doing this. In my safe, I'm just gonna say I have $10 million.
No, no, we're not going that far.
Oh, okay. I
We'll
didn't. All
give
right.
you we'll give you like maybe 2 million
All
over the
right, that's
course.
fine. I just didn't know how long, so it was like, okay.
You've taken out a lot. You've taken out a lot of eager rich people that have been paying a lot of months. Like you are really well off. Even for many adults, you are very well off.
All right.
But you also have to consider expenses and many other things.
That's
Oh
true.
God, Tim, what did you just post? Tim, why?
I'm scared. I now must see.
Tim, no! It's now he's posting it again. Stop it!
Oh wow.
Yep,
This is what the chat looks like.
yep. That will stay a mystery forever, and anyone who's listening in will get to gladly not know what he posted.
Oh god, yeah, that is a dancing dick.
All right, now they know. So,
All right, continue.
um, the plane is very sleek. It's very modern for 2024, and it's just very fast as well. Now, it's high class too, so you're just kind of relaxing. You can get dinner there and all that. And since you're going to a different time zone, it is no longer morning, it is night.
Okay.
So, you're flying across the ocean. You're going through clouds. This is the farthest you have ever traveled. You typically keep your operations in the United States because that's usually where they're provided the most. But this is your first time really getting to do something crazy. So you continue to fly forward, and then eventually you've arrived. You land in Japan, and the people just kind of usher you out, and you look to the car to find the address of which Skid gave you. You want to go to it.
Um. Yes. Let's go to it.
Okay. You do a little bit of sightseeing on your way there. You're kind of trying to ask people what it is, but you don't really speak Japanese. You're just kind of speaking in slow, loud English, like, "Excuse me, do you know where?" And they're just looking at you like, "Oh my." That is what every Japanese person in my world will communicate. That is supposed to mean a full sentence. I apologize.
Omayo, 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 omayo.
Exactly. One person will be like, Shinderu. Nani?
It's a little kid of actually like
It's just a little baby just Nani.
Jesus Christ.
So, you're walking down the street. You're getting to a slightly sketchier part of this city. We'll say you're in Tokyo because that's the first place that came to mind. Yes, it is incredibly crowded. Incredibly crowded. If it weren't for the world capital city, this would probably be the most populated city on Earth. But the world capital holds the record of 55 million people. This is high, but not as high as that. So you're kind of walking around, and then eventually you find what looks like a rusted old brick apartment building. It almost looks like something you'd see in New York City. But it matches up with the address, so do you want to go up to the door?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk up the staircase, and you just give a rat-a-tat-tat on that wooden door, and it takes a little moment, but after some quietness, you just hear, "Who's there?"
Skid sent me.
Skid who?
The guy from the bar.
You're pretty sure there's only one Skid.
Yeah.
You're like, the guy from the bar, jackass, open up. He's like, I'm right, sorry. This goes on for 5 minutes. They open up the wooden door.
What am I doing? Heading into Steven's room?
You realize there were no locks on that door. He was making them with his mouth. He might have lost his mind a little bit. He's about
to permanently lose his mind if he keeps that act up.
Don't do it! He's in very dirty, gruff clothes. It looks like he hasn't taken a shower in weeks. His hair is all over the place. He's balding on top. He has a pair of old, broken glasses. They don't look that clean. Hi, Aaron. Yeah, they don't look that clean. Oh, dear, that's a noise. And he's kind of hunched over a little bit. He's not too fit, and he's pretty frail. Just looks to you, he's like, "Hi, yes, Skid sent you. Welcome. I got his phone call, though you can never be too sure."
Just take me to the guy who called Skid.
Yes, follow me. And he just kind of hobbles like Gollum, just making his way through the house. It's not well kept. It smells like a kitten's litter box, except that would be a kinder smell than what this is. It's just somehow worse.
Like if I had a light and I lit it with the room burst into flames.
You're not sure what gaseous fumes are in here, but it would probably cause a miniaturized nuclear explosion.
As chaotic and destructive as I am, I don't want to do that.
Don't do it!
Because I'm in the room and I need this money.
I will GM hack. I mean, I don't do that. Anyways.
No, I'm not breaking another. I'm not creating another nuclear explosion.
Anyway, traumatic memories aside, we begin to make our way through this place. The wooden floors creak underneath your feet, and you make it to a slightly cleaned up office. It smells better. That's the best compliment. And you see a guy sitting over a desk.
Mahogany.
He's got some papers. He has an old landline phone next to him. You thought those went extinct. You see some pretty decently fancy lights. There's a television in here, a nice modern computer system. And he's just kind of leaning back, and he's all like, "Oh, so you must be the Grim Reaper."
Yeah, that's me. And
He's
the one that wants Oni dead.
Keep the voice down, bud. You never know who can be listening in. Yeah, never know who can be listening in. And he looks to his little minion and he's like, "Why don't you go scramming I don't know, be useful. Knock your forehead on a wall or something. All right. And he runs out. He walks over to you, standing up from his rolling chair. You hear the distant knocking.
I got you.
He screams to him, either harder or softer! Now he gets progressively more violent. He looks to you, he extends a hand for a shake. Do you shake his hand?
Yes, I shake his hand.
Okay. He kind of looks to you and says, so, yeah, as you can tell, we have a bit of an Oni problem. And unfortunately, I didn't pay the exterminator. So, that's why I'm here to call you. Apparently, Skid says you are incredibly talented for your age, even for most bounty hunters that are adults. And you got quite a strong peculiarity there. So, I have a few pieces of intel that were given to me that will kind of generally tell me where Oni will end up tonight. Now, I just need to ask you before I risk my money on this. How confident are you that you think you can take her out?
Is the sky blue?
Oh, looks out the window. Well, currently it's black, but I mean, yeah, when it gets to night, or when it gets to morning, yes, it'll be blue.
Well, by the time I'm done, Tokyo's skies will be red with blood of Oni.
She! I like that line. I like that. Someone coin it. Now then, he looks to you. He does a little bit of a chuckle laugh, like Skip wasn't kidding when he said you were quite let's say passionate. All right. Here, come here, kid. He walks you over to his desk. He kind of pulls out an envelope file and says, so Oni's been drug busting, weapon busting, all that stuff across Japan, but she's also been striking a few places over in the United States. Points there, and he shows you a few red dotted locations where she's been. It's primarily on the coast, and you know that that's where not a lot of crime is successful on the coast because of one big reason. The Icons have a base on each coast of the United States. They have bases all over, but those are some of their biggest ones. So she's been oddly striking a lot of places in California, around here. You're not even sure how crime was able to form there for her to bust it, but you know what? Doesn't matter. She struck a little bit of New York, Georgia, Florida, Pennsylvania, all of them, just in and around there. Not all of them are touching the ocean, but most are. He points to Brazil, he points to England, he points to other places in Europe, and Asia is practically just highlighted in red. Like, this is the area where she has really been striking, and people are feeling it. These companies that are kind of doing these illegal businesses are really feeling the deplete in their supplies, and you don't know whether he has a business that's actually being affected by this or if he's just a guy that wants to see her taken down. But he seems passionate about watching her die. So, kind of looks around and says, there's another meeting. We set up a little bit of a decoy, to say the least. There will be quite a few people there. It's at nighttime tonight at 1 a.m. And they're just going to be doing a little drug deal, nothing too crazy. And we're hoping that the large enough crowd and a few paid witnesses we have will be able to get the attention of our arcane assassin, and she'll fall right into her trap. I need you to wait there for her, hidden in the shadows like you do, and strike her down. I don't care how you do it. I don't care how long it takes. I just want it done tonight.
You got a deal.
Perfect. And he actually goes over to the closet, and just for a little intensification, he opens up the closet door, pulls out a large briefcase, opens it up. Oh yeah, that's 2.5 million right there. That's a lot of money.
Nice.
You practically get the cartoon ching in the eyes.
Gonna double my name.
Oh dear. You know that this will just be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane if you can take her down, and that you're probably going to be getting triple the amount of business. However, I want you to roll an intellect check for me.
It's a total 17.
Okay. So with that, you kind of realize if you take down Oni, the other icons will probably know. They might not know who did it, but they'll be on a witch hunt. Are you still okay with this?
Yes.
All right. So, with that being said, he gives you the general laydown, the plan once more. He gives you the address to where it is. It's another old dilapidated harbor again. It seems like that's kind of where a lot of this scummy, sketchy business takes place in John's world. And, well, he gives you the info to begin to make your way out.
Yes, I do.
Alrighty. Oh, Colin, I just saw your message. Yes, it is totally Crinklebeard.
Oh, I forgot Crinklebeard existed.
Oh, he exists. He's an evil little creature. So, we cut to the scene of our little crime. I'm going to set out the scene for you, and you can tell me where you want to hide. There are a few lampposts that are lighting the scene of this little area. It's beginning to drizzle and rain. The ocean next to it is roaring, and the waves are crashing alongside the cement harbor. There are a few large warehouses, a bunch of crates to hide behind and on top of, and there are a few cranes that would move them from ship to ground or vice versa. So you kind of have your set out. The guys know you're there. They know what your job is, and they know that Oni is most likely coming. So, with this general layout, where do you want to hide?
Let's see.
There are a few lampposts above them. There's a warehouse not too far, a couple of crates.
Let's see, I want to hang out on top of the warehouse, but also cover myself in shadows, just that way I can kind of blend in with the background.
Okay. Kind of like a chameleon, you grab shadows and you just kind of pull it over yourself and you sneak your little bum over to the edge. So that way you can have a pretty good look over the crowd. Now, how long are you going to wait? Now, let's just say Oni hasn't shown up in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 8 years. How long will you wait?
I'll wait until I see that there is a confirmation of Oni in the vicinity.
Okay, sure. Now, an hour goes by, nothing really happens. You're kind of twiddling your thumbs. The adrenaline you had is slowly because you're, damn it, where is she? Did she stand me up? You're just kind of hanging out. And then I want you to roll me an awareness check. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I got a 14.
Okay. So, with a 14, you're just kind of watching. You're watching the crowd. You're beginning to zone off. And they're getting a little bored of the drug deal. They're like, okay, a drug deal doesn't take this long. She's going to know something's up. So one of the guys says, you know what, that's fine. I got to go take a leak. And you kind of see him trail off. And as he makes it to the edge, and it's like, I'm feeding the fishes! His voice is cut off. Eventually, everyone quickly turns their heads looking for their friend, and they're like, oh no, I'll use Jim. Jim! Jim! And Anthony, you begin to wake up a little bit as you see they're actually pulling out guns. They're automatic weapons. They're locking them in place. They have flashlights on, and they're kind of talking with one another, and they're like, all right, she might be here. Everyone begin to move. And the guy who seems to be running this little operation looks up to you to kind of acknowledge that you're still with them and let you know that they're kind of going to be on the prowl, let's say. So, Anthony, you see them beginning to walk around looking for where Jim went. What do you want to do?
I want to activate Raptor, just so I can have that set up.
Wings pop out of your back.
And what time is it?
It's like 2:35. 2:30, 2:35.
Alright, I'm going to fly above the lights to see if I can see anything move in the shadows.
Could you repeat that?
I'm just gonna fly above the lights,
Okay.
and try and see if I can see anything move in the shadows.
Okay, sure. You kind of fly up, you look around. Roll me an awareness check.
Oh, jeez. 8.
God, she is rolling high. I mean, not she. Anyway.
I know it's she.
We all know it's she. You begin to fly around. You're kind of looking about. You see where the scopes are. They're looking at the maze, this crowd of just shipping crates. And then all of a sudden, one of the lights just dims, and you hear a muffled and all the lights begin to point to where they heard it, and you see them begin to snake over to it. What do you want to do?
I wanna.
You sound scared.
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna drop down and activate Shadow Chain Binding.
Okay. You have chains.
Oh, I don't even have to roll for this.
Oh, do you usually have to roll?
No, but last time I activated, you're like roll willpower.
Oh yeah, roll willpower. I forgot. Sorry, I'm following my notes, trying to make sure I got everything going.
The chains don't activate. The chains don't appear.
What'd you get?
Continue with the story.
What'd you get?
I said continue with the story.
Okay, so
I feel like with that you should know what I got.
You try to form the chains and then huh. Shit. You're like, all right, that's fine. You begin to walk forward. Do you want to form anything else, like Crimson Melody? Do you want to form?
I already have Crimson because when I'm in Raptor, I also summon the wing. I don't only summon the wings, but I also summon the weapon.
Okay, sure. You have it with you, and you're kind of sneaking around. Are you going to go into the maze, or do you want to try and fly above it?
Actually, I want to do neither. I want to
Okay.
come out.
What do you want to do? I'll leave it up to you.
Come on, Oni. Show yourself. You don't have to do this little dance.
I can hear the passion. So, in short, what do you say to her?
Pretty much just calling her out and be like, come on, stop hiding in the shadows. That's my gig. Here's my shtick.
It's my shtick. Okay. That's what you want to say?
Yeah. I can't think of anything.
I love the gif.
Actually, and then at the end, I
Uh-huh.
wanna go into my counter shot stance.
Okay. What's that look like?
It's pretty much just like it looks like I'm not paying attention at all.
Sure. Okay. Roll an awareness check.
There we freaking go. 24.
So you wait a little while. Oni does not seem to come, but you haven't heard another muffled scream. Eventually, the lights turn to you, and they're like, "Mr. Grim Reaper, we have no idea where they went, but the people stopped disappearing." I.
Keep your guard up. She's still here.
All right. Whatever you. And then he gets cut off. Quite literally, actually. You notice a shadowy figure lands from the ground, and with a glinting weapon in their hand and one fell swoop, you see this creature slash the backs of all these guards. They kind of rear back for a second, drop their guns, and just fall forward. You're not sure if they're dead because she only slashed the back, though they very well could be. As this person rises, they are taller than you. Not by much, but they are taller.
Oh, I know. I'm still like 15.
You see a woman with very pale, snow white skin. She has purplish magenta eyes, freshly applied makeup. That's nice. She takes credit in her appearance when she's horrifically Batmaning people. She has long, wavy, kind of curled a little bit towards the ends, brownish red hair, and she has a long pink stripe in the front that kind of covers one of her eyes a little bit. She has a light brown overcoat and a sports bra over, and she has tight, kind of dark grayish jeans. But over one of her eyes, you see kind of like a type of cyber tech glass piece, like a Google Glass, except if it was like for a monocle. And you can see it's currently activated. It's looking at something, like it's studying the area around her. You see a few other little tech pieces on her. Around her thighs, she has two braces that hold two pistols. And in her hands, she has a katana. Over her mouth is a type of. It's a half mask. It's half of an Oriental Oni mask. A demonic samurai like mask. It's red, has the sharp dragon fangs. And she just kind of looks to you, squinting her eyes. And she says, "Well, you called me out. Here I am, kid."
Damn, they didn't tell me you'd be this pretty in the briefing. That doesn't mean I'll take it easy on you, sweetheart. So yeah, this is all on recording, so you have that to play that infinitely.
No, I can play that infinitely now.
I'm just proud I said that without screwing it up.
I'm gonna listen to that with TJ now. I want to hear. All right. She looks to you.
And just a slam on the desk.
I didn't expect it, though I feel like I should have. So she looks to you, and with that comment, she actually does get quite a laugh, and she says something along the lines of, "Oh, well, that's very sweet. Don't expect me to take it easy on you too, kid." And she readies a type of defensive stance, sword pointed forward, and you see a few kind of written in blood demonic symbols on it begin to flare up and brighten. That's majestic, thank you. So, With that, roll initiative, friend.
Yeah, the fight I've been looking forward to.
Are
All right, I go first.
you sure about that?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Tell me what you got first.
17.
All right, with a nat 20.
Okay, you go first. What do you do, bud?
All right, I want to set up shadow chain binding.
Shadow chain binding. All right, roll willpower.
Woo! Let's see. That is another 24.
All right, you got above a 10, so you ready them. They're in your hands, and you just kind of fling them on the ground.
Yes.
Now then, that's your turn. You do have movement. Would you like to use movement?
Honestly, I was gonna try and see if like to end my turn, I just go into my counter shot stance.
Counter shot stance.
That's the counter.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go into counter shot stance, and then my turn.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you get into your counter stance. You throw the chains on the ground. She looks down now that it's her turn, and even though she has a mask, you can tell she's smirking. So she is going to roll a coordination check to attempt to leap out of this chained area.
Ooh, well played.
She kind of has a feeling of what you can do. She's fought many enemies. No, on the DM, I'll say if that passes. Okay, yeah, that definitely passes. So, you watch her smirk, and then she practically does a forward flip and a roll just out of the chains, and as a reaction, because they sense she moved, they kind of just chain around themselves and then just fall to the ground in a sad pile.
I mean, if she's jumping over it, that kind of doesn't do anything. It's if they're trip. Remember, the chains are set up like tripwires.
Okay.
It literally says Anthony summons shadow chains set as tripwires.
Okay, sure. Then they don't do that. They just kind of sit there. Yeah, but she leaps out. She does a full flip, and she lands right behind you. That was her movement. Now she's going to try and do an action.
All right.
She's going to roll to hit you. Roll me coordination to dodge. Will your chains affect you by chance?
No, remember, chains don't affect me.
Just making sure.
Got a 9.
Okay, so with a 10, she just leaps behind you, lands to the ground like a cat or Spider-Man, and she just tries to slash at your back. She is going to 6 for damage. Okay, so Anthony, you take 6 points of damage. You have not felt this type of pain in a long time. You're used to just taking down low-time criminals, the occasional strong one every now and again, and just being a god among them. Oh, wow. She leaps over your chains, lands behind you, and just strikes your back in a mere 3 seconds. That was fast. You basically land in your chains. They don't do anything, but your back is sore, and the rain is only kind of stinging it a little bit. It is your turn. What do you do? What do you say? What do you do?
All right, let's... What do I want to do?
I'll give you a moment to think about this while I check our session chat. See, oh dear, Tim is posting Spider-Man GIF. I like Spider-Man GIF. This is nice Spider-Man GIF. Hi, Gavin. Oh, this is good. Oh my god, I've never seen that GIF. Bye, Colin, I miss you. But what is this Spider-Man GIF? Anthony, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm thinking.
You're thinking? So I'm going to start to introduce a system that my friends do in combat. They give you roughly 5 to 10 seconds to think of what they want to do so that way we can keep it going.
All right.
I'll give
Then I
you
got it.
10 seconds.
All right, I got
Okay,
it.
you got it.
All right. So I want to ask Oni a question.
Okay, speaking is a free action. What do you want to do?
All right. Do the names Jessica Howell and Harold Howell ring a bell? Or do you know anything of their disappearance?
So you kind of land on the ground with a stinging sensation, just and then you think, I wonder. You look up to her, and as she's kind of making her way, she's not really rushing because she sees you're a kid. She doesn't want to hurt you too bad, but you're probably going to try and kill her, so she's trying to weigh her morals. And then you ask her if she knows Jessica and Harold Howell. Yeah, I just have to scroll up. She immediately stops in her tracks, and you see her eyebrows furrow. She looks to you and says, kind of pulling down the mask, what of it? What do those names mean to you?
They're my parents. They went on a mission many years ago. The country said that they were dead, but at the funeral there were no bodies.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find out what happened to them.
Roll an awareness check.
Please, for the sake of story. Please, for the sake of story. 10.
That's good enough.
Story.
Yeah, you look to her, and she actually kind of takes a step back. She just kind of looks to you and says, I used to work with them. You're their son. Oh my God. And she kind of runs over to you and just kind of like looks at your back and is like, oh, damn it. Did I hurt you that bad, kid? Are you all right? Are you okay?
I'm fine. It's just a sting. Not really used to it.
You actually see that she quickly reaches for her sword again, and you see that her hair stripe that's pink turns to a yellowish white color, and you see her sword begin to glow with that power. She takes her hand and she places it on the back, and she begins to heal your wound a little bit. Anthony, roll d4.
Yay!
2. You heal 2 points.
Okay. Might I add, with that one strike, she did half my health.
Oh, good God!
Remember, I'm not Centurion. I'm Anthony Howell, which means I have 4 less health.
Oh, dear.
I had 12. Unless I'm doing my math, 5 plus 7.
Well, you know what? 12 is kind of the average in Icon. So,
not like Centurion.
Owen is also one of the strongest heroes in this society, so there's a reason why she does so much. Now, she just kind of looks to you, and she stops her power, she sheaths her sword, and her hair color goes back to pink. And she helps you up, and she's like, I'm so sorry I hit you. I thought you were just some random mercenary out to get me.
It's fine. It's fine. I didn't even know you knew anything about them. I just you're kind of up there in the popularity ranks and like knowledge enough of the government stuff. So I thought, hey, maybe you know of their disappearance.
Yeah, you know what? Follow me. And as you guys are walking, she kind of just turns to you and says, "But be real with me. How much was my bounty?"
It's 2.5 mil.
That's it. Oh, I gotta work on my cred.
Hey, I only have 2 mil to my name, and I'm nicknamed the Grim Reaper.
You know what? Fair enough, kid. And as she's kind of walking with you, as the camera panning back in one of those cinematic shots, she's just kind of like, "Though I do gotta say, You almost looked like you were going to put up a really good fight, she says with a little bit of a giggle.
I roll my eyes.
And we cut over to your to her apartment, or at least you assume it's her apartment, or she's just breaking into someone else's. But it's an okay place. It's nothing too great. It's nothing too crazy. It's definitely not a place you would imagine one of the strongest icons to be hanging out. It's kind of a dirty old apartment building, but the inside's quite nice. The inside is well kept. She kind of leads you down a hallway on an old, kind of smellyish rug, and she takes you to a door. She unlocks it. It's a decent sized room. It's pretty cluttered with just a bunch of useless crap. And you can roll an awareness check to see what you see in here. She's just kind of dropping off her shit.
Total 20.
Total 20. I'm just trying to figure out where I am in my notes because that whole scene actually worked out a lot better than I planned on it.
Yay! Not gonna lie, after doing that, I was like, I probably should have fight a little bit more.
No, that's fine. That helps out my notes so much more. Okay, so as you're looking around, you see where her bed is. It's kind of made, but kind of not. It's like a half morning. It's just like the blankets are a little messy and wrinkled. The pillows are just kind of thrown on in place. Around here,
I know exactly what that looks like. I'm literally looking right at my bed right now. I'm like, yep, that's my bed right now. That's my bed.
Yep, looking at mine. That's my bed. I usually make it feel like it this morning.
You know what? I was actually nice because, and I kind of made it because while I was sleeping, like half of my covers were off of my bed. Actually, no, my covers were over halfway off my bed, and I was getting pissed off at it. So I'm like, screw it.
I feel that. So you kind of walk in here. You're looking around at some of this. There's books, there's papers, there's folders everywhere. Some of them are in Japanese, but some have translated English subtitles and a few pictures on that. You see on one of these pictures is a much younger looking Oni with handcuffs on her wrists and Japanese police officers taking her somewhere. You see a few subtitles where it's like street poverty is at an all-time high. Kids are living on the streets and committing crimes. Young girl was taken in by police, and it's kind of referring to the picture. You're kind of putting the dots together, and you're kind of seeing that Oni was a bit of a street kid, a little bit of an alley cat.
Oh, just like me.
Yeah. You're looking around at a few other stuff. You see that there are some newspapers of some of the grand stuff that the Icons have done. When they fought the McKenna from coming back for the second time in a row in Dallas, Texas. And that was when they truly united, many people say. There are a few clips of when they took down the criminal organization Devil's Orchestra, though you know they're back. You know that they didn't stay dead for long.
Yeah. I think I've worked with them a few times.
Maybe. You just kind of, you don't really, you're neutral ground. You just kind of work with whoever's going to pay the highest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look to some of these, and then you see a few happier pictures. There's some with the rest of the Icons, and they're actually kind of at amusement parks. They're at the beach. There's a few almost family-like photos. There's her and a Spanish man with facial hair, 4 black raven wings and a scythe. You know this is the hero Diablo. And they're just kind of got arms around each other just hanging out. But he's got he's clearly older. He's got like the sunblock on the nose and under the eyes, like the very white stuff. You see that just kind of riding on the coaster. It seems like she's had a lot of good memories with them. You see a large green orc with 2 battle axes hanging out there. You all know who it is. Yeah, you see a bunch of them. Also a gorilla named Pom-Pom! We love Pom-Pom! Tim loves Pom-Pom the most. I'm waiting for a reaction or just a scream of terror. Either way, it seems like she has a lot of happy memories in here, but some from the
No.
past. We love Pom Pom. So then, that's kind of what you see around here. And she's just kind of dropping off her crap. Do you say anything? Do you react to some of these pictures? Or no?
No.
No. She kind of walks over and she's like, yeah, this is my place when I'm here kind of drug busting. I don't need much, just kind of a roof over my head and a place to store all these files.
That's
Honestly,
fair.
I don't even know where half of them have gone. She steps on one. Oh, hey, here's one.
Huh, you
It's like,
sound a lot like me back at my base.
oh yeah? What's your place like?
Well, I live above a bar. And I
God.
got a place to store my monies. I got a bed.
She looks to you and she just kind of says, do you have anywhere to stay, kid?
Well,
Like, for real?
I had a place
Oh yeah? Where was that?
somewhere in Chicago. Probably, I think it was really close to the bar where my parents got their bounties. I don't know. It was a while ago. They died when I was like 8.
And did anyone watch over you after that point?
I mean, there's Skips, the owner of the bar. He kind of like took me under his wing. He's like a father figure to me. So there's
That's
that,
nice.
and then everyone at the bar, just like a family.
Well, I'm glad you have that. I I I lived on the streets for a fair amount of my life too. When I lived up, mom walked out when I was 3, but let's not open up that can of worms. It's just nice to know that I don't know someone else who was in a similar situation actually found somewhere to stay, found people that could actually see his family.
Yep.
I didn't get that till I was older, but besides that, I
At least you got it. At least you got it. It's better late. It's better later than never.
She looks over at some of the icons photographs. She turns to one where it's her, Val, and Pom Pom all just sharing some cotton candy at one of the fairs, and it's like, yeah, it's nice that I got a family again. But yeah, you're here. That's new. That's fun. Hello. I've got files here. Why don't you come over? You kind of have to step over a bunch of books and papers. Oh my god, is that a cat? No, no, no. It's just some pillows. You thought that was a dead cat for a second. But you kind of make your way through here. And you look at the desk. She opens up a folder and she says, yeah, when your parents first went missing, I'm going to be real, I didn't even know that a kid. But I tried to scrounge up whatever evidence I could find and just, look for what I could, try and see if I could, understand who might have taken them out, if they even were taken out. But I just couldn't find anything. Now, Anthony, do you want to look over the evidence?
Yes, I want to look over the evidence.
Roll me an awareness check first.
God, I love awareness checks. Total is 18.
18. Okay. Then roll me an intellect check. I want to see how much.
12.
Okay, that's fine. It's above a 10.
Yeah.
So you're kind of looking at some of these pictures. There's a few chalk outlines of where people think they could have been. There's a few evidence pieces like knives, some bullets, some blood stains, all quarantined off by police officers. This stuff has clearly been cleaned up by now, or at least it should have been. But yeah, you're kind of looking around at a lot of this evidence. It hurts a little bit to see this. Roll a willpower check. I want to make sure that you can keep looking at this because this is evidence of your parents' demise, potentially.
16 total.
Okay. You're able to still keep looking. It's a little at first, but you're able to watch. You're looking around at some of the stuff, and there was not a lot of evidence that points to whoever could have done this. Oni just kind of says, the only leads that I really had was it was probably someone that was looking to take them out because they were getting a little too close, let's say. Kind of like how I'm doing with these drug busts, except, as you can tell, no one can really take out me. Just a little too fast. But, yeah. Now, you're kind of looking at some of these pictures. They took outside pictures of the area where the most evidence, what looked like a murder or a confrontation could have been. And it's a large, large warehouse. Why don't you roll me one more awareness check?
Oh, I got a nat 19. I'll just say that.
Oh, dear God. Okay, yeah. That's fine. As you're looking around at some of these buildings and all that stuff, a lot of them are just traffic cam security. Most of this stuff you think Oni has taken just to kind of see what she can find. But at this warehouse, some of the inside pictures, you look at some of these crates inside, and then all of a sudden, a symbol looks very, very familiar.
Oh.
You see a patched-in symbol of what looks like a serpent coming out of a rose.
No, I killed one of their lackeys in the beginning.
You remember that beginning person. You remember that the name sounded familiar to him, but he didn't have much information. Oni notices that you're looking at this picture more, and she's kind of like, do you notice anything in here?
The symbol in the back.
Where is it?
Right over there, and I point to the serpent coming out of the rose.
Oh shit, what is that?
I don't know, but on my last mission, I took down a guy that had that same symbol patched on a piece of riot armor.
Okay, weird. There's so many logos and symbols on here. You see Google, you see Cable, just a bunch of like logos in here and stuff like that. But that one stands out the most. She kind of says, "What do you think they would have something to do with this?"
Well, I tried interrogating the guy earlier, and he said the name sounded familiar, but he doesn't know anything about it. So I'm guessing there's a connection.
Okay. Well then. The only clues and the only people that I generally had leading me in this direction was one company in particular, one that has been famed for killing off many heroes. And she shows you another picture of what looks like almost a scratched off and ripped off badge and symbol of a corporation. It's like a yellow ring with an orange background and a green droplet on it. She said, "This is acid. I don't remember what their name stands for, but it's something with the containment of inhumans. They often take out many people that are not too keen with the way they work." Anthony, roll me an intellect check. I want to see what you know about acid.
Well, I know it's a drug. Oh, dear. 9 total.
Water is good. 9 total. All right, you don't know much. You know what the general public knows. Acid is basically equivalent to Google, but if Google was also a private military organization, well...
Yeah, I was going to say, who's to say they're not? Oh. I'm sorry, FBI agent Steve.
FBI, Steve. I'm sorry! John is not here right now. I will be your new dungeon master. My name is JohnBot 2.0. Now then. Wait, what is my name in Discord? Is it 2.0? It's 3.0. 3.0. Yes. Thank you.
I said it in the beginning.
So, Acid is a very large company. They got shares, bonds, stocks in multiple different companies, and they have facilities in tons of countries.
Yay,
They've
economics.
spanned economics, monopoly. Yeah,
Okay,
but
boogity, boogity, boogity.
they definitely have like spread across the world, and they are a private military organization. A lot of people know that, but they mainly are like the United Nations, where they're kind of a peacekeeping organization, quote unquote. But there are a lot of people with suspicions. Basically, all of Acid is like Area 51. There are so many conspiracies about them, and many strange heroes like the Gauntlet, Azrael, the Weasel, Lightning Rod. They've all they've all been former Acid agents, but when people ask them about it, they don't talk about it. They stay pretty silent. You don't know if there's traumatic memories behind it. You don't know what. What you do know is that what you do know is that they're not. There's probably something up with them. They're probably not the best company. So let me just check my notes, make sure I'm still doing everything. No, Google Docs, stop it. Okay. Yeah, Oni kind of shows you the symbol. You recognize it, and she says, do you know what that company is called? The one with the snake coming out of the flower?
I do not remember. Do you?
No, but here, why don't you sit down and just kind of relax? I'm going to go make a call. I have some intel and scouts across the city that typically tell me where some pretty big, operations are happening.
All right, cool.
So, let's take a look. Oni kind of goes off into a separate. You see her kind of dialing a landline. What is it with these landlines? You thought they were dead. But you sit on the bed. It's quite soft. It's nice. You think about sleeping. No, there's work to be done. Sleep. No. You will not sleep. Even though you kind of want to. Because you haven't slept recently. You've been up for almost 24 hours. You're getting tired.
I need my strawberry sunrise.
I mean, my strawberry sunrise. Oh my god!
It's like, hey, can you send over a strawberry sunrise? No.
No problem. Crashes through window. It's like Endgame with Tony, and it's all like, how about we get you some eggs? No, I'd like a Bloody Mary. So, with that, you're just kind of sitting around. Do you want to look at some of the other files, look at some pictures, or do you want to just kind of wait? It's up to you. She's in another room. You don't know if she'll get offended or not. You were doing it before. She didn't seem too annoyed.
Yeah, let's keep looking at some files. Let's see if there's any big names I recognize.
Okay, so what are you looking for?
Actually, no. What do I want to look for?
Do you want to look for things like with past? Do you want to look at the icons, history? Do you want to look at some of the family like photos they've taken? What do you want to do? It's up to you.
I'm definitely not going to look at the past. I now want to gain Oni's trust. And I feel like if I dug into that, it would just be breaking breaking that trust.
Bitch, what the hell are you doing?
No, I was looking for chips.
I was looking for condoms. Oh, okay, they're in the back. Walks away.
What?
The for real. We meet on Sundays. Anyway, you, sir, what are you looking for?
Gun stuff.
What?
I want to look for stuff on the icons.
Okay, sure. Roll an awareness check. I'm curious what you find in specific.
I have a total of 16.
Total of 16. Tim, that is a horrifying Ronald McDonald picture. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know when the session ends, Tim. Okay. So you're kind of looking at some of the icons' pictures. There's a lot of like them standing triumphant as they walk heroes to a jail cell, or not heroes, villains to a jail cell. You see many pictures of them standing on top of piles of dead
I'm gonna hit you,
McKenna.
Colin. It's not that place. It's better.
Ooh, what did Colin post? What did Colin post?
A while ago, he says, "Wait, Anthony, was the bar in Chicago hole in the wall? No, it was not hole in the wall. It was something 20 times better than your piece of crap."
Dang! Okay. So yeah, you kind of look around at some of these photos. They really do look happy. You also look, as you're looking through some of these icons books, you see Oni actually together more so with one individual. He's tall. He's a Caucasian man with I don't remember how I described him on the website. I'm gonna quickly pull that up because I don't want to tell you who he is because he's not in his suit. Because he likes to keep that identity a little bit of a secret. But you see that his eyes are like a rich coca brown. He has dark brown hair and a really pearly white smile. The two seem to have a type of look into each other's eyes that suggests something a little bit more. She has a lot of pictures of him and her together. And there are a bunch of more family-like icons photos. And as you keep looking at it, it's almost something that you kind of wish you still had with your parents before they disappeared. It's something that you wish you could have experienced. And by the way Oni was talking to you just a little bit before, it seems like she didn't have this for a long time either. Kind of helps you relate with her a tiny bit. But with that being said, is there any reaction to any type of questions you might want to form for, if any at all? What do you do?
Just maybe shed a few tears.
All right.
Look,
it's just so not like I look at the pictures and tears begin to stream down my face. That's just like, I don't know, shed a few tears, be sad.
Well, I'm trying to stay like strong and stuff because like I don't want to like bawl my eyes out. I think the only times I've bawled my eyes out were in front of Skid, and this is some random hot girl I met.
Yeah.
I'm so glad this is all being recorded.
Oh no, I love that this is being recorded. I'm excited for our end credit scene too. I think Mason will like it. So, yeah, Oni eventually comes. So, kid, I think I've found where these two companies might actually be meeting. Because you got me thinking. With that weird snake-like symbol, my contacts told me that they go by the name Serpent's Blossom. And Acid has done a fair amount of business with them. Now, I feel a little dumb that I haven't figured this out sooner. Though, in my defense, I've been trying to save the world. I've got a lot of other stuff. But you know what? Tonight, I want to try and change that. I want to try and close up a case. Kid, I think I know where they're going to be meeting up. And I'd like to go with you.
Great, let's go. Get your stuff. I'm gonna activate Raptor, but
oh god! Your wings pop out. Jesus, what is that?
But but there's something off about it. It's a little
Oh.
bit. The shadows are a little bit more distorted, and the axe blade, is a little bit longer than usual.
Is this plead or the beginnings of plead?
You'll have to find out.
Because I think I found a time where you maybe unlock a skill. So,
Or do we get a transformation something?
so, she kind of looks to you, she smiles, and like, I like your passion. Oh my god! The wings pop out, it's a little distorted. She's like, Jesus, what is that?
It's my raptor form. It can fly
That is.
around.
You try and fly around in her office, but papers start going everywhere. You can't fly too high, so she's like, hey, stop it! Like, land! A little hummingbird.
But I also
She failed on English. She's Japanese, it's fine.
But as you have your katana, as well, I'm going to assume is your signature weapon. Mine is this axe called Crimson Melody. Got a shotgun on it, on the top, and as you can see where the trigger is, there's a chain connected to it, allowing me to increase my range with it. And if I want to spin it very fast, or if I want to spin it, it speeds up. And yeah, you can chop down a good-sized building with this.
She looks at it and she's like, well, damn. Yeah, my katana is called, Jing pulls it out. I'm going to look at the website and see if I can pronounce this right. Ahem!
Puts on glasses.
Let us see. Am I still young and hip pronouncing Japanese? It's Japanese, Grandpa. Shut up. Sashiokisu. Okay, this is how I'm going to choose to pronounce it. Sashiokisu. I butchered that horribly. She says that... She's like, I don't entirely expect you to understand what it means, but in English, it roughly translates to first kiss.
Nice.
She actually asks you, like, why do you call it Crimson Melody by chance?
Most people see this as a weapon, but to me, it's an instrument of death.
She nods like it. And she says, all right, sheaths blade. Let's get moving.
All right.
You guys begin to walk out, and she's like, so the meeting point is a little far. It's on the other side of Tokyo. So how fast are you, sweetheart?
242 miles an hour, if that means anything to you.
Yep, that means something to me. All right, so you're going to be fine. She kind of says, you might make it there before me, but that's okay.
Wait, so how about I fly you over?
Can you actually lift her?
Let's roll a strength check.
Okay, because I'm going to say you could only maybe pick up one person.
I have a total of 7.
What does fate say? Fate says it beat you by 10. So, yeah, you try and pick her up. You flap your wings violently like a little bee. And then she's like, are you exceeding your body weight on that a little bit?
Shut up.
And then you realize, yeah, no, there's no way I'm picking you up. Just kind of drop her down. You maybe made it like a foot off the ground. That was about it. But yeah, you put her back down, and she's like, that's fine. And she pulls out a picture, and she's like, we're going to meet at this warehouse right here. I'll meet you on the roof.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Wait for me, because you'll probably get there first. And yeah. Anthony, you ready your wings, and you rocket through the air, and you soar to this facility. As you're beginning to fly, it's kind of on the outskirts of Tokyo. It's kind of slowly moving into a more suburban-like area. But this place looks like it was once a nuclear reactor factory, though it's clearly shut down. The gates are covered in vines, moss, and plants. A lot of it is crumbled in. There's a big warehouse factory. You see the typical nuclear engine smokestacks. They look a little old. It doesn't feel like you're getting hit with radiation poisoning, so it might have just shut down naturally over time. But yeah, you begin to make your way over to the warehouse, and you just kind of land on top. Oni, surprisingly, is not too far behind. It only takes about 5 minutes, and you watch her shadowy figure just kind of leap over the gate, kind of hop up some rubbled rock, and make her way up to you, and she lands silently like a cat. She says, "Damn, you're fast."
I guess.
You egotistical bitch. So, she says, "They're probably inside. I don't know if they're in the warehouse or if they're in the factory, but they are meeting here, and I don't know how many people." So, she says, "I'm going to sneak down, look into the warehouse. If they're not there, I'll let you know, and we can, I guess, scour the premises." She sheaths her sword, or keeps it sheathed. She grabs onto the edge, and she just kind of swings down inside, nimbly. It takes maybe a minute. She looks around, and then she climbs back up. Is like, "They're not in there. There must be somewhere else inside the facility." You want to split up?
Yeah, let's split up.
Okay.
We'll cover more ground that way.
So, Anthony, there are 3 places technically. There's the outside, though that you can take kind of a quick glance around. There is inside the actual factory, and then there's the little side building that hosts the nuclear smokestacks. Which do you want to explore first? Outside, factory, or smokestacks?
All right, I'm gonna. Since you said it was gonna be easy, I'm just gonna glance over the outside and see what's there.
Her katana is called Shing. Colin.
Oh wait, did you see the battle that me and Colin had?
No, I see a battle. I can't tell if it's a battle with Gavin and Colin. Yeah. But we'll look away from the group chat. So what did you want to search first?
The outside, just because you said like, oh, it's just you can like glimpse over that.
Okay, do a quick search around. Roll an awareness check.
All right, with a nat 1.
All right, you soar into the sky. You look forward, your wings. You feel the wind in your hair, and you think you see them, just talking in the bushes, quietly whispering devious plans. And then you realize you haven't even taken off the ground. Would you like to try again?
Yes.
You make sure to take off the ground. You flutter like a hummingbird. And you soar. What'd you get?
12.
Okay, that's better. From the looks of it, you don't see them out here. All right. You kind of had a feeling, but you wanted to check. Roll me one more awareness check.
8.
Okay. You think that you see Oni slipping into the factory. You're not sure if it's her, but you think you see her shadowy form just kind of sneaking her way in. And she doesn't have shadow control, I don't think. I'll have to ask TJ. But it's just kind of the natural night that's kind of helping her camouflage. But you see probably her sneaking into the factory. What do you want to do? Do you want to follow the shadowy figure? Or want to check out the smokestacks?
Check out the smokestacks.
Okay. You fly your way over to the large nuclear reactor area, and you look down inside. Roll me one more awareness check.
17.
Okay. You see a group of shadowy figures in the stack closest to the factory. They seem to have been talking actually inside of it, which is basically hollowed out and empty at this point. And they begin to walk as a mass group inside of the larger building. So you're pretty sure that was Oni at this point that snuck in, and they're heading into the factory. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna follow them into the factory.
Okay. You flutter down into the area. Are you trying to be stealthy or nah?
I guess we'll go stealthy.
Okay. Roll me a coordination check. I will. Oh, they got decent.
Total 21.
Okay, you beat them.
You're like, decent 21. Oh shit.
Oh my gosh! Mason, stop distracting me! Keanu Reeves might be in the MCU. Okay, never mind. I'll worry about that later. Anyway, now that you kind of flutter down, they don't notice you at first, and you see them just kind of walking through a large hallway, and they're in what looks like a type of sweatshop area. As you fly in, do you want to head up to some of the rafters?
Yes.
Okay. You fly up. They still don't notice you yet. You are being surprisingly stealthy, and you kind of just perch up there. You look around, and you see not too far ahead because the moonlight is kind of illuminating her. You see Oni. She looks to you, and she just kind of winks. What do you want to do? Because it looks like she's letting you take the initiative. Now, actually, you know what? Before I have you do what you want to do, because I'll let you think about it a little bit, I'm going to describe to you what these goons look like. There are a total of 8. Or no, a total of 9. One of them stands out above the rest. He has a very long, black, dark trench coat. He has long, thick gloves, tall, almost hiking boots. He has 2 pistols on his hips. They're just pure silver. They look freshly polished. And on his face is a white blank mask. There's almost no facial feature details on there except 2 little cutouts on where eyes probably should be, but you only see black empty sockets with a purplish flamish aura kind of beginning to seek and ripple out of it. And you see a few holes, almost like a Jason Voorhees mask of or one of the hockey masks of where he would breathe and talk, though there aren't many. And it's just a pure white mask. He talks in a deep, almost incomprehensible voice, and it sounds like 1,000 whispers as he speaks. People are talking with them, a few acid informants, which he clearly is. He has patches all over him that speak acid. And he just looks like an acid man. And Serpent's Blossom, the other smaller group, are just kind of talking with them, and you can hear his distant, echoed voices just whispering. What do you want to do? His back is technically to you, and his side is to open.
I'm just gonna signal to Oni to
Gavin winks in Japanese. Go on.
Just to signal her to watch, and then to watch the main guy, and I point to the guy with the no emotion mask, the one that's turned to me.
Well, yeah, his back is to you. Describe to me again a little, just simpler what you want to do. I'm sorry.
Just signal to Oni to watch him.
Okay, she does. Yeah, you kind of do a little hand signal, point at him. She looks over. No one has noticed yet. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna.
You don't even know what they're really here talking about. You don't see any crates. You don't see any drugs. You don't see any weapons. I feel I should point that out.
All right. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go all in.
You're gonna go
Just rampage.
Rampage. Okay.
Because like I'm in the warehouse where it's like I'm in the warehouse of where like all the shots were taken, right? From the murder scene.
Yes.
So that fuels me with more rage, which makes my shadows more distorted, and the blade gets a little longer, and the hilt, like the hilt guard, starts to disappear on my axe.
Are you officially in your certain form yet, or no?
Nope, but I'm gonna
Okay.
say, depending on how things go for right now, this might be one. Actually, this might be 1/3 of. Actually, no, 1/5 of the way to a full transformation.
Okay. So, roll initiative. Also, you think that any of these guys could have pretty good information on your parents, though it seems like one of them in particular might. Point, point, point.
To the guy I'm trying to attack.
The guy without the mask. You think since you think he might have information on your parents. You don't know. Could be an acid type guy. No, with that type of level. You don't know. I'm just kind of throwing out these ideas so that we don't just go willy nilly. But it's your choice. I'm curious to see what you do. So, what'd you get for initiative?
9.
Okay. Oh dear. So, as you know what? No, that's what he does. Okay. What do you do? It's your turn. Oni just kind of begins to make her way over to them, and she's just going to spend turn waiting for you to start. What do you do?
What happened to Jessica and Harold Howell? Answer me, you fucking bastard.
Okay. You leap down, and do you want to strike with anyone?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a wide. I'm just gonna strike with Crimson. Just dash in and strike.
Okay. You dash in and you strike. Roll to hit and scream this.
Wait, does he not notice me? Doesn't he not notice me?
Not yet.
So then,
just strike. Just
all right, yeah.
roll d20. Trust me. Trust me.
Total 16.
Okay. A total of 16. Oh, perfect. Jeez. You rush down, you scream out this question to them, you grab your weapon, and you slash it across. Roll me damage.
It's 1d4 plus 2.
Yep.
So that's a total of 3.
Okay. A few people get badly cut and badly scratched, and Oni will prepare to jump down when it's her turn. But you notice, as you scream this, you cut this guy in half. Like he's butter. In fact, you didn't even feel friction when you did this. It just kind of cut. And you watch his body fall into pieces. And he just lies there. And all of a sudden, you're in shock, like, oh shit, he could have known. And everyone just kind of looks to you.
Honestly, that's just even more rage.
It's more rage, but roll me an awareness check.
18 total.
They don't look scared. The people just watch this large, scary, demon-looking man who clearly seems to be leading them just get cut in half, and they don't look scared. Not in the slightest. In fact, they didn't even really flinch except for the ones that you hit. And then, because he spent his turn preparing an action, he gets to use it. You watch as his body, his veins, his blood, and all that almost turn to a thread-like substance on both ends. They all wrap around each other and they start to spin together. Like his body is beginning to sew itself back. His legs stand up and his body just kind of gets sealed back on. And you just watch him crick and crack his body back to normal. And the wound is still there. It looks like he stitched himself up through some sort of magical means. But His body is in one piece again, and he slowly turns to you and just stares blankly. You can see the inside of his sockets, the darkness pooling. And he thinks about your question for a moment. And he looks to you and just says, Jessica, 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 and Harold. I remember those names. I remember them fondly. They were brave warriors, warriors, warriors. But they were no match for me. Anthony,
Yeah.
it's Odie's turn.
Okay.
She's going to land down and she's going to do a strike. And then we're going to go to you. She's not going to do much. She's just going to... oh, God. Odie missed. She lands down and her kind of swing. But she was a little grossed out by watching his body thread itself back together. And she just kind of misses with her attack. And she's like, oh, shit. It's your turn, Anthony.
All right.
You watch this beast sew itself back together, and he looks to you, and he kind of chuckled a little bit and answered your question. This being fought your parents, apparently. He didn't say if he killed them.
All right. So we're now at 40% rage. The axe blade is big.
Okay.
And and it looks like there's another blade starting to form at the back.
Oh dear. So
not on Anthony's back, but on like the back of the shotgun.
Okay. You begin to fuel yourself with a little. And what do? Because it is now your turn. The being is completely looking at you at this point.
What did you do to them? Now I'm getting into it.
He looks to you, and he does not respond. His jackets just open up by themselves. His arms have not moved. You see threads from his body beginning to kind of push them open, and they wrap around his pistols and just put them into his hands. And then the threads just sink back into his body. And he points them right at you. And that's how he reacts. He does not answer.
All right, I'm gonna go in for a swing and yell, "Answer me, damn it!"
Answer me, damn it! And you swing. Roll a hit.
19 total.
19 total. Okay, you hit him. Roll damage.
Damn, 3 again.
Where were you striking?
Just like down from like the top, down from like the right shoulder, from the right shoulder down, like down across his chest to his left hip.
You slash again, and you do quite a deep wound. You don't cut him in half, but you do quite a deep wound. He rears back, his clothes rip to pieces a little bit, and then you watch as his body is kind of slumping back because the muscles are kind of cut, and you watch as the threads begin to form again, and they slowly begin to seal the wound, and his body just clicks back into position, and he looks back to you again.
All right, and then at the end of my turn, I am at 60% rage.
Okay.
There's actually like something forming on like the back of Anthony's like head and stuff. It looks like almost like hair is starting to form. Something weird like hair is starting to form, and like a shadow glow of what he's wearing, kind of like, but like kind of torn up, like starts like almost like flashing in and out, but very dimly.
Okay.
And
yeah,
the back blade is about 50% out, and the handle, and the guard is completely gone on the axe,
Mm-hmm.
and the handle is a bit bigger, almost to where he doesn't have a full grip with one hand, so he starts using two.
Oh dear. All right, yeah. Your transformation is very visible. Clothes almost look like they're beginning to rip, and your shadows are becoming more distorted and violent. Hair is beginning to grow over your mask, but your breathing is getting heavier, and you can sense the breath of a child. It's his turn again. He looks to you and says, Anthony Howell, are you there, son? He says
What's it
in
to
many
you?
distant whispers.
And what if I am?
Well, I just wanted to know. I thought maybe I could reunite the family. And he points the guns forward and he fires. Roll a coordination check to dodge as he.
All right, since we're above 50, I'm gonna balance that.
Okay. Change your stats accordingly.
14 total.
Okay. He hits you. You are going to take. Oh, lucky you. It's only a graze. He shoots at you a few times. Most of the bullets miss, but one of them just slashes your arm, and some of your shadows just kind of disperse in that area, and you see a little bit of blood flick out. It hurts. It stings,
How
but
much
he
damage
didn't.
should I take?
You take 1 point of damage. It's nothing crazy.
All right.
You should be at full health again, by the way, if you weren't.
Oh, I should be. No, I was not. I was at 8 health at the beginning of that.
Okay, you're at full health again.
All right, thank you.
You had enough time to recover. So, yeah, he shoots you. Oni is now going to take her turn, realizing that there is some personal stuff here and that this is probably the killer parents. And she is just going to try and hack through some of these guards real quick. And with a natural 20, she does double damage on them. And you watch her just rush forward, realizing who this man is, and her blade just bursts in electrical flames. She rushes forward and she drops 4 soldiers to the ground. Just massive gashes in them. Their guns practically cut in half, and they just drop. 1 second.
I'm waiting for John to get back. Waiting for John to get back.
Hello.
Oh, that's perfect timing. I finished my song.
Yeah, no, Oni basically just cuts through a few guys, and that is her turn. She is going to try and make her way to you, try and give you help, because it is clear this guy doesn't take damage normally. It is now your turn, Anthony Howell. What do you do, Grim Reaper?
Well, I'm going to say now the rage is at 75%.
Okay.
Nothing dramatically changes, just it does start to show that there's hair being formed, and it's like down to his like bottom of his neck, top of whatever that is called.
Sure.
And it's starting like the shadow rips in his clothes are starting to become more visible.
Fun. I like it. I like this. Now then, now that you've changed a little bit and your rage is continually growing, why don't you show me what you can do?
First, I'm going to ask, what do you mean by reunite the families?
He just kind of looks to you and just says, what do you think? I'm a hitman. Your parents threatened our company and our supply. Just like this one over here points to Oni. I'd rather be left out of the chief. Takes a back step and looks back to you and says, we can't have that. We can't allow this. My boss won't allow this. So, put me on the job. Didn't mean to orphan you, kid. I'm sorry. It's just the way I get paid. Way I do what I do. And I thought, Why not try and let you see them again? So, that's how he responds. He's still in a very aggressive stance. He gonna try and kill you if that wasn't in blatant English enough. So, Anthony,
Yeah.
I'm gonna implement the 10-second to figure out what you want to do.
All right. All right, I'm gonna ask, where are the bodies, or should I say, what did you do to the bodies?
He just kind of shrugs and says, "I don't know." Just kind of. Eventually, nature took them, threw them into the ocean. Didn't need them. Didn't want anyone to find them. Probably at the bottom.
All right, John, we've hit 100.
You hit 100. Okay. Why don't you describe to me what 100?
So, I finally unlock Plead Insanity. All of my stats change. I go full berserk.
Yay!
My Crimson Melody has now fully changed from a one-handed axe to
Okay.
a two-handed great axe. Still, the shotgun is still on top, but the blade is significantly longer. It's about the blade, like from the top of the blade to the bottom of the blade, is equivalent to from the top of the axe to the bottom of the axe.
Okay.
It's about let's say like 3.5, or like, I don't know, like a foot, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little shorter away from where
So
the
basically,
shotgun
in
is.
layman's terms, you get really big and
Yeah, this is just the axe. This is the form of the axe.
Sure.
And this is now what Crimson Melody looks like. It is a two-handed great axe, the shotgun on top, the chain still spins around, or still got the chain that I can use to spin around.
Yeah,
And it has a blade that hooks out from the back, almost like the other half of it is just a really long pickaxe. Or it's just there's someone cut a pickaxe in half and just shoved it right on the end.
So with the fun, yeah, you look quite intimidating, to say the least. Shadows are beginning to hurt, your hair's grown extra long, your costume looks shredded, your weapons look more intimidating.
And I sound more like a beast.
And you sound more like a beast than a man. Or a young boy. So, Anthony, you're in Plead Insanity.
Yes.
Why don't you describe to me what you do to this man?
I'm gonna run up.
Well, I hope his power's still up. What?
I want to grab him. I want to grab his face and just break it, and just break his mask.
You run up to him. You grab him by the face. Roll me an opposing check.
Opposing what check?
Strength.
Total 19.
Okay. Yeah, you grab him by the mask. He tries off, but you just crack it, and you remove your hand. What do? Because now you've officially cracked his mask. Your hand is still on his face.
I want to slam him into the ground.
Okay. You grab it and you slam him into the ground. Roll me one strength check. Oh dear, he's rolling terrible today.
18 total.
Slam into the ground.
Now this is where the fun begins.
Roll me a d4 for damage. Actually, no, I'll do that because I'm God. Oh, he takes 2 points of damage. You slam him into the ground. Underneath begins to crack and shatter, and you. What do?
I'm gonna place my foot on top of his lower abdomen.
Yeah, you can do one more minor action. No real weapon tricks. But you can prepare for weapon trick.
Alright. And then with and then I'm gonna wrap. I'm gonna like lock the bottom or lock his body down with like just like chains.
Okay, sure. Roll me a willpower check to form the chains.
Oof, that one.
Okay, you do not form the chains. Your rage is, but you do slam on his chest. Did you remove your hand from?
Yeah.
Okay. What you see as your hand is removed from his face is a very disgusting sight. His skin is shriveled and black and rotting. His eyes have no balls in them. His nose is completely gone and is merely just a hole, and his mouth is kind of shriveled back. He looks like a zombie. And from his mouth, it's not moving, but you can hear distant whispers and souls calling out. And I want you to roll an awareness check.
This is gonna be fun. 11.
Okay. You think
I have no awareness bonuses. I have 0 awareness.
That's fine. His whispering voices are calling out to you, and you see that purplish fiery mist begin to slowly seep out, and it begins to make its way over to your ears. And you hear a voice, a whispering voice that sounds like your mother in one ear, and a whispering voice that sounds like your father in the other. And they're calling to you, Anthony, please stop this. Just let him take you and we can be together again. As a family. Come on, son, what do you say? Join us. Join us. Join us. Join us. Join us. And we're going to go to Odie really quick. What'd she do? No, she doesn't do anything. She got 2. Okay. So, Anthony, how do you react to hearing your parents' voices again?
Just a barbaric scream.
You do a hellish roar. It's one of those just distorted. It's an angry turkey. It's an angry turkey. And yeah, so it's his turn now because he got a 19 for initiative. So he is going to attempt to shoot you while you are distracted. Roll a coordination check to dodge.
With a total of, if I can math correctly.
He got a 16. We'll put it at that.
All right, you win.
Okay, I win.
I got a nat 3. And then my coordination was an 8.
Oh, okay. So, he is going to roll damage on you. And because it's 2 pistols. Okay. You take 3 points of damage as they land in like your upper chest and you feel the sting, but the anger is just too much. It's just too prevalent within you. His face hasn't reacted during this entire thing. It looks like a blank, dead face.
Okay.
But he's still moving, very much so. So what do? It's now your turn.
All right. So I still have him underneath my foot, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna make sure he stays there. Actually, if he tries to get up, he has to roll strength against me.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna start casually rev up the engines and activate velocity overdrive, which is the special in Fleet Insanity. So if I didn't state this earlier, I apologize. But when in Fleet Insanity, I have 2 Crimson Melodies, 1 in each hand.
2 Crimson Melodies, 1 for each hand.
And with Velocity Overdrive, I wildly swing my axes, holding onto the chains and using the shotgun's kickback to increase the speed of the swinging axes over time.
It's like one use blade.
Yes, exactly.
Or General Grievous. When he's swinging his lightsabers.
Yeah. So
okay.
When I'm doing this, I can have, or obviously I roll twice, twice to see if I hit with the axe. I roll for each axe to see if they hit and how much damage they deal.
Okay.
And after that, I can choose to either stop, or actually, I can either choose to keep going, so they just keep spinning,
Okay.
and I get a speed counter,
Okay.
or I just drop both of the axes right on top of them.
So, we'll figure that out. What do you want to do first to him? Because you did have to dodge, so you're no longer on top of him, so you will have to roll to hit, but he is still on the ground.
All right, I want to go back into the position I was before, having him underneath my foot.
Roll strength check. Will not be hard. Did you beat a 5?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I beat
a Okay.
Was that 5 total?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
He makes me sad
if I had to do that.
So, yeah, you land your foot on him, and you will automatically be able to attack him because there's nowhere he can run, and he's prone.
All right, so I'm gonna just use velocity overdrive with the connecting point on his face to start shredding it.
Okay, you want to try and shred his face?
Yeah.
Okay, you actually just kind of do this. You begin to shred up, and you hear of your father. The distant whispery echoes just scream out in pain, and they slowly begin to get sucked back into his mouth. And yeah, his head is no more. His head's just kind of gone. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. So I have 1 speed counter.
You're basically up. Like, it's just a meat blender. And there's not much of him left once you finish.
Do you want me to roll damage?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
That's 6, and so it's a total of 10 damage.
Okay. 10 damage. God. Okay. Yeah. So, a quick cut over to Oni. She basically finished, and she just takes a step back, never seeing you like this. In fact, you've never seen yourself like this. No, you can't really comprehend what you are. You're just shredding him, and he takes 10 points of damage, and eventually you realize his body isn't there anymore. It's just a pile of mush. Do you stop?
No, I've already said I kept going, so...
Okay, you're basically making extreme liquidized pudding at this point. It's just...
I'll just keep going with the whole body, just like a saw, just like...
Oh yeah, no, it's brutal. Like, there is nothing left of this guy.
Like Kenshi's finisher, or yeah, Kenshi's fatality from Mortal Kombat 10, where he just like has like the fan and it just like shoves the guy through and just becomes a puddle.
Yeah, you more or less do that, and you stop as you realize there's nothing left to slash except the ground.
All right, so then I'll just drop it, dealing that damage.
You drop it. Are you still in Plead Insanity?
It's been 2 turns, so yes.
Okay. You take a step back to look at your good work. It's his turn. Mm-hmm. It's going to take his full turn, but you watch as the puddle begins to grow more solid, and you watch as these threads begin to swim through it, and they start to mush him together like putty until he becomes more solid and less wet, and they begin to rebuild his legs and his arms. His clothing is kind of held together by these threads. You've clearly just destroyed the clothing, and the mask is quickly grabbed again, and they begin to put it back together, and you just watch his regrowing body just...
You see, I knew this was gonna happen. That's why I didn't want to stop velocity overdrive, just to keep going. It's like, oh, you're alive? All right, I got 12 counters. Boom.
Oni basically looks at the mushy man now becoming solid. It's very clear you've done damage to him. He is holding his body together with hundreds of threads, and same with his clothes and mask as well. So he's clearly not solid anymore, or not fully solid by himself. But he's back. He's standing. Oni just kind of looks at this as like, all right, this factory has still got to have some sort of radiation poisoning because I swear to God, I did not just see that. I am on something. And he
In
looks
response to him fully forming, I'm just gonna do almost like a demonic angry scream.
Okay, it's your turn again.
Oh, it is. Okay. So,
I want you to roll an awareness check. Gavin likes pudding. I'm glad he likes pudding.
Natural 8.
Natural 8. Okay. There is the
Remember,
pudding of good.
Remember, I have no bonus and plead.
That's fine. So you're just kind of looking around, all that stuff, and you think you find something. You think you find a few old gas tanks. Roll me an intellect check.
8 total.
Oh dear.
What I well, probably would have said this. I had a nat 10, but my intelligence is -2.
Yeah, you look to this and you think, I could drop it on him. You definitely know that clearly, even shredding his body, he's gonna come back. So, what do you want to do? You got 10 seconds to think of what you want to do.
Let's shred him again.
You're gonna try and shred him again? Okay. So, roll to hit. Because he's standing up now.
Total is 18.
So with a nat 20, he dodges.
Damn.
He just rolls to the side as you slam your weapons just into the ground and you look to him angered. Oni is going to try and make a hit. Did she? Roll it on the table, damn it. Okay, that's him. That's her. She hits. And what element is she going to use? Okay. You see her sword just light up in fire. She runs over to him and she stabs him straight through the gut. And you think, oh, his threads are going to heal. But actually, she stabs him right through, rips it out, and you see the fire actually begins to eat away at him. And there's just this hole, this burned hole inside him. And his threads are not regrowing yet.
Oh.
He just kind of wails in pain like, ah! And Oni takes a step back, is like, why isn't he regrowing? Anthony, it's going to be your turn in a sec. It's going to be Mr. Bad Guy's turn. Okay. He's just going to look around at you two, and he's going to take a few steps back, and he's going to spend his time reloading his clip and putting new ammunition into it. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna... Is he close to one of the gasoline tanks that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, he's not too far.
Alright, I'm gonna... Ooh, let's have some fun with this.
Oh, dear.
I'm gonna grab the gasoline. I want to run over and grab the gasoline tank.
Okay. You run over and you quite literally just pick up the gasoline tank. Just... It's in the air. He looks to it. You know he doesn't have any facial reactions, but if he did, you could tell it was just, oh, shit.
Now, wait, is this like a house gasoline tank, or is it like a propane tank?
This is a propane factory tank. It's big.
So, like, it had a supply of propane coming into it?
Probably.
Or was it like one of like a giant canister of like what you see put into like a gas grill.
Oh, it was more so one of those
What was it for
for the
that?
gas grill.
For the gas grill? All right,
Yeah.
I want to knock him out with it.
You want to try and knock him out with it? Okay, roll to hit.
God damn it, fate! This is gonna be so cool and so dumb.
Oh no! What'd you get?
And that one.
Okay, so with a 15, he dodges out of the way as you just kind of throw it at the ground, and it just kind of goes. It
Damn,
just
I
kind
was
of.
gonna do something cool. I was gonna knock him out, place it on top of him, uh, and then go long live the king and break it open.
Well, Anthony,
Yeah.
that's not the only container. There's still two more next to it.
Do it again.
Well, it's Odie's turn. She's gonna run up and try and strike him. My dice! Okay. That is a blah blah blah. She's gonna hit him again, and she noticed that the fire actually did something. So she's gonna try and slash at him. She hacks at his arm, and there's a big divot, and it's not regrowing. He just rears back and Anthony, you begin to hear more of the voices calling out to you as we switch over to his turn. You hear your mom and your father calling out once more, "Join us, son, join us. Please don't fight this. We want to see you again. Join us, join us." And he is going to, with his new ammunition, try and fire at the big scary monster that's trying to throw stuff at him.
Is that me, or is it the other guy in the room?
No, that's you.
Oh, okay.
You're the only other guy. You got a gal. So roll coordination to dodge.
Okay.
What'd you get?
What do you get?
I got 15.
All right, with a total of 23.
Lord have mercy. Okay. Yeah, he fires, and you just like sidestep. Now then, you hold a canister in your hand, I presume?
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to try and knock him out again?
No. Is there any part of his body that's on fire?
There are areas that are singed. It might still be hot enough for things? Question mark.
All right, I want to rip that singed part of him off.
Okay, you want to rip it off?
Yeah.
So it's more. You can't exactly rip it off. I mean, you can with the arm. That area you can kind of hack it off.
Oh yeah, then if it's the arm, I'll hack it off.
Yeah, because the inside of him, that's kind of like a film round. So
All
yeah,
right.
you go over to him. Do you just rip it off with hands?
Yeah, I'm just gonna rip it off and then head back to my canister.
Okay, you rip it off with your strength. Um, roll strength check. Let's make sure you can do this.
God damn it! And that one.
Okay, well, luckily for you, you scratched at enough of it, and roll an awareness check.
Are you freaking kidding me?
What'd you get?
I got a nat 19.
Dang!
That's not
Okay.
what I needed.
So you actually watched the little bit that you ripped off, and it's beginning to heal back with the threads.
All
Roll
right.
an intellect check.
Oh wow. Total 7.
All right. You think don't scratch the singed area, or maybe
But there was something else I wanted to do.
what you want to do?
I wanna put it into like a little capsule.
You
A
want to
little
do what?
I want to put it into like a little shadow capsule,
Okay.
and I want to pour gasoline on it.
You want to pour gasoline on the bit of flesh you ripped off?
Yep. Just to
Okay.
try and see if I can get like fire going again.
Okay. You pour the gasoline on it, and in its side, it's a little capsule. You see that it's still hot enough, and there's still a bit of singed embers there that it does kind of light on fire. And then when the fire starts, it starts.
All right. Now I'm gonna close it into that shadow capsule. And is that all I can do on my turn, or can I just?
Yep. For right now, that's all you can do.
All right.
Oni's gonna make her turn.
We'll do that.
She's gonna miss. He's going to try and shoot at Oni because now she's being quite annoying and has the real damaging stuff. And he is going to miss as she practically backflips away from the bullets. It's your turn again, bud.
All right. I'm going to repeat what I just did last turn.
Okay. You want to grab more of his singed flesh?
Yep.
And light it on fire in there? Okay, you do more of that. So I'm going to say those are minor actions. Do you want to do something with it?
Actually, can I do it twice?
Yeah. Then
Okay,
that will be a full action.
That's fine. I'm going to do it twice.
You have 3 shadow capsules with flaming flesh. So he's going to start shooting at you because he doesn't know who to shoot anymore at this point. You're both really just kind of hurting him. But as you rip away more of this singed area, you see his body's beginning to heal again. He's going to miss Oni because actually he changed his mind to shoot her. And it wasn't his turn, but that's okay. I'm trying to follow the notes. Basically, none of them hit one another. They just kind of keep watching each other.
All right.
It's back to you, Anthony. What do you want to do?
I want to try and douse him in the gasoline.
Okay, you rip open the top and you fling the gasoline. Coordination.
All right. Oh, wait, what do I roll?
Coordination.
Total 20.
Roll again. He tied with you. Oh, dear.
Total 23.
With a total of 2, he gets doused in this gasoline, and at this moment, he realizes what you're doing, and he's beginning to freak out. You have doused him in the gasoline. What do you want to do?
I want to load my shotgun. With the 3 fire shots.
Okay. You aim it forward. I'm going to say you can just shoot him if you want to. You're going to have to roll to hit. But I mean...
Actually, no, I want to go point blank.
Okay. You go point blank. There's no... Well, no, because he does have mobility. He can still attempt to dodge. Roll a strength check. What'd you get?
What'd you get?
8.
With a total of 17.
Okay, you grab him by the face. He can no longer at point blank.
And before I fire, I say, long live the king.
Oh, that's okay. You shoot him 3 times, and the fire
it's just in one shot, but since
okay.
Because remember, it's a triple barrel shotgun.
So I forgot about that.
Yes, that's why I wanted 3 of them. So they shoot 3. So yeah, it does even more. It does the total damage, and then the fire with the gasoline.
He has massive holes inside of him that just shred him, and the fire begins to consume his body. He rears back in pain. The heavens, and you watch as his body begins to crumble into ash as he sinks into the fire, and you watch his purple flames leave his eyes, but the ones that kind of reach out of his mouths, your parents are calling you again. They're kind of screaming, Anthony, please don't do this, save him, join us, and they just kind of get sucked back into the body, and he just crumbles into a pile of ash. His threads are gone, his clothes are gone, and his body is gone. And the flames slowly begin to die out. So, Anthony.
Yeah.
Initiative's over, buddy.
All right. I now pass out because I'm pretty sure that's like 3 turns over my limit. I lost count after turn 2.
I'm gonna say
turn 3.
I'm gonna say it was your first time using it, so but yeah, you're definitely knocked out.
Yeah, it was. I originally have it set as like I can only use it for a limited time before I'm knocked out, and I said the number of turns, the number of turns equals my willpower, and my willpower is 4, so I can only be in complete insanity for 4 turns. But once I get to like I don't know, like I think 7, I'll be able to use it with no strain.
Okay. Well, with that being said, you pass out. Anthony, eventually you wake up in a white hospital room. You have a lot of cuts and bruises on you, a lot are bandaged and wrapped up, and you just feel generally weak and sore. Like you don't really want to move too much because your body hurts. You're looking around this area, excuse me, and you see a bunch of other beds just empty. You seem to be the only one in this sector, except for one person in front of you. It's Oni. She's just kind of sitting at a chair and wake up and God damn, kid. You have a lot of power in you.
Just smile.
She stands up and walks over. How you feeling?
Everything hurts. My
mind. Everything hurts.
I don't think I can even make a little shadow kitty to make me feel better. I don't think I can even make a pencil. It hurts to think.
It hurts to think. Yeah, you just kind of lie there like, You're just like, can you kiss it better? Where? Everywhere. Yeah, you're just kind of lying in bed, just everything is just in pain. But
meanwhile, I only took 4 damage. No, I only took 3 damage of health, I think.
I'm saying complete insanity is what hurt the most.
Yeah.
Your body ain't used to that much power. But you grab it, but she grabs a chair, the chair she was sitting in. She brings it close. Like, well, the doctors came in. I was the only one who took you here, and as far as they know, I am your only guardian.
Oh.
Yeah, they weren't going to let me in if I didn't show that I had some sort of a connection with you, so I just said guardian. Just kind of smiles. Yeah, but the doctor said that you're going to be fine. You're going to make a recovery. But they have no idea what you did, nor did I. So you want to mind explaining that one?
I think I just got a little too mad. I think I did with the guys with the PH and the D's called and the cops.
PH and the D's.
And
go on.
The lawyers and all that, and I think I pleaded insanity for that whole entire fight. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, that's a cool origin name. She looks at you and she's like, well, hey kid, I hope you get better. And she kind of stands up, she just stretches, and she's like, that's a lot of raw power for one kid to handle. Have you ever had it trained or tried to be controlled by a professional?
What's that?
She looks at you and she's like, there's this school that teaches young kids how to, not only become superheroes, but helps them train and control their power so that way they can use it to their full extent and not hurt their bodies. It's called the Washington High School of Heroes. I have a few friends that work there, and I often come in as a guest speaker every now and again. I am technically a substitute teacher, though most of those are just let's watch The Office days. I don't know how to teach things.
Ow, it hurts to laugh.
She's like, right, sorry about that. Yeah, but kid, you're really young to be doing this bounty hunter stuff. And I think you avenged your parents. Why don't you just take it easy and consider going to this school? I mean, hell, I'll probably be there a lot of the time. Try and get that power under control before you start using it again.
You're right. That using that form did damage me a tiny bit.
Looks at burn wounds everywhere. Ow.
I think it'd be cool to be able to control or get a better grasp at this. So who knows? Maybe when I get out of here, I could be making even more money with these bounty hunts.
That's the spirit, kind of. Yeah.
Maybe I can learn some. Maybe I can develop new techniques. Ow.
Wink. Japanese wink. She just kind of
Japanese.
so dumb. She looks to you. Gavin gets 30 fate points. She basically just kind of looks to you and says, well, you know what? I do have a place down in Washington, D.C., which is where the school is. I don't know if you want to keep doing bounty hunter missions until then, but I could help you apply for the school and you could take it easy until then if you wanted.
I mean, I don't think I'm going to be going on any hunts soon until I fully recover. So I guess I kind of have to take it easy.
Yeah.
I'll take you up on that offer.
Kind of is about to high five you and now would you do it? Oh yeah, right. Hey, well, you know what, kid? You're one hell of a fighter. I'll give you that. You definitely remind me when I was younger and didn't have my powers fully, checked out just yet. So I don't know. Maybe I can try and help you, train with your powers a little bit one day.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe we could spar and not try and kill each other. Snap. Ow.
I think I broke my finger.
I think I broke it. It bends backwards. Ah!
It's just like,
around.
It's like I hold it up. It's like parallel with my thumb. I snap, and when you snap, you like push it upwards, so it would kind of like snap up.
It just kind of goes. Oh dear. She's like, I'll go call the doctor. I'll get my place ready. You just don't do anything, like at all, until I come pick you up.
Easier said than done.
And we'll give you a quick little cutscene because why not?
No.
And as she walks out, the doctor, she comes across the doctors and she says, I think he broke his fingers trying to snap. You might want to check that out. Dear God. All right. Yes, Miss Oni, Miss Anzai, what should I refer to you as? Just Oni. I just wanted to make sure for the records. What's your affiliation with this boy? She kind of looks back to the room, hears you moaning. She's like, he's you said you were his guardian? Yeah, he's my little brother. Yeah. He's my little brother. I'm watching it. I'm taking care of him. We're on our way to DC. Oh, well. He won't be out of the hospital for a few weeks, but I'm sure you icons have some sort of healing mechanisms. Maybe you can bring that down here to help speed up the process. A little annoyed. It's like, yeah! See ya! Walks away. And we cut back to Anthony, and you just kind of look back at your hands, amazed that you had all that power. You smile, and we'll end it there. Now, I'll give you one end credit scene if you like.
Yes, the end credit scene. Let's see what you got in store.
Okay. So as the credits roll by, I'm sitting there. Bro, that movie was awesome. Xenashiro origin, so cool. And Anthony looks at me and is all like, bro, come on, man. There's an end credit scene. I'm all like, I'm sorry. I like being the audience member. It's fun. It takes a break from DMing. But our little end credit scene as the credits go by, we get a distant landscape shot of New York City with smoke billowing up from it. Fire is everywhere. The sky is orange, red, and yellow, and right above it are black storm clouds. Many portals open up around the city, and there are these strange silver little objects flying through and large ships darting across. And we cut to people running away in the city. We see many people screaming in terror as these strange robotic monstrosities fly above. And we see one young little boy, a young African-American little boy, running with his mom and a little girl who looks Hispanic in nature. They're just running for their lives, all that stuff, and they're running under one of those large bridges that runs through the city, and it's beginning to crumble under them. And a bus that was just dramatically parked to the side is on this edge where it's beginning to break apart, and it begins to fall forward onto them. They all look up, and they close their eyes, waiting for the impact. And then the bus stops, and we see the shadow of a large, muscular man cast over them as someone has caught the bus. And we hear a triumphant, "Fear not, everyone, for I have risen." And we end it there. And that little end credit scene was teasing Mason's origin game, because I want to do him next, and then maybe Alan. So Tim, you can stop the recording. And you all can unmute your mics now.
And the first one to unmute is...
Me, bitches!
Oh, God!
Yeah.
Oh, my
He's
head
me.
actually hurts from that.
Everybody.
I did not
I
expect
gotta text Tim. Okay. Tim, you must stop. You can
Oh my god.
the
So, Gavin,
recording.
what do you think?
You know,
Gavin's
I
quite